Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this one we're going to go over Monday Night Football NFL December 16th, Monday. Chicago versus Minnesota is the first game scheduled to kick off. The second one is Atlanta versus Las Vegas. And as you can see, the opening odds are on the screen. The Bears open at plus 200 on the money line. Vikings open at minus 245 on the money line. As you can see here, we'll go over Atlanta, Las Vegas in a moment. And let's pull up the notes here. Let me scroll down. All right, Atlanta, Las Vegas is down there. Just wanted to make sure. The picks the picks will be on the Patreon. Let me scroll down here. All right, here we go. All right, Bears opening money line plus 200, reduced to 20 and 2. You just separate the integers, add them together. That's what you apply when you want to use numerology based or gematria based decoding. That's what you do. 245, 2 plus 45 equals 47. 24 plus 5 equals 29, and 2 plus 4 plus 5 equals 11. And yeah, the current odds look like this. Plus 265 for the Bears. Wait, let me hold on. Let me open this up a little bit. There we go. All right. Plus 265 for the Bears and minus 330 currently for the Vikings on the money line. Spread looks like this. Chicago plus 7, minus 120. Underdogs, that is 7-point underdogs, a touchdown underdogs, and an extra point. Minnesota minus 7, minus 102 is the cost currently for that. Opening odds are the same for both games today, so we're not going to focus too much on that because it's just a 1 point spread for either squad, either game. Both games are 1 point spreads opening at minus 120 cost, so we're not going to focus too much on that. That's not giving us any sort of valuable information. Can't connect any parallels with that. But the totals are the same as well for each game. 44.5, but they're at different costs. 44.5 total points for this game at minus 104 cost. 44.5 points at minus 118 cost. And once again, this is early Monday morning. These could and more than likely will change, but I will show you how to adjust your betting based off of these numbers. Now, the expected value. Expected value is what a bettor can expect to win or lose on each bet placed on the same odds time and time again. And it is based off this plus 265 minus 330. And plus 265 in comparison to minus 330 gives Chicago 26% chance to win. The Vikings get a 74% chance to win based off the minus 330, which gives them a negative $3.58 expected value, and this gives Chicago a negative $5.10 expected value. Now, with that being said, this $5.10 is a very significant amount. Negative $5.10 for the Bears is very significant at this 26% win percentage, as when the expected value, especially NFL wise, is over the negative $5 mark. Once again, this can change. The numbers will fluctuate throughout the day. But if it's over that by the time, and the formula is right here. The formula is right here on this line below the definition. If this remains above that $5 mark, negative $5 mark, those teams hit more so than not on the money line. Just keep that in mind. Even though they're a dog in this game, they hit more so than not. But let's see the splits. Let's see where the money is going. All right. Percentage of bets. Chicago, 22%. Now we're going to start on the money line. We're going to start on the money line. 6% going Chicago's way and 3% of the money. 6% of the betting and 3% of the money going Chicago's way. And that in itself more than likely could keep Chicago from winning this game. If you see you see this 6 to 3%, 6% of the betting, 3% of the money. And this 265 is not a significant underdog, but it's still a dog. And it's still quite up there for a game against Minnesota in this instance. 265, if this continues to increase, the Bears are more than likely going to win this game. And they're already over this $5 mark, negative $5 mark. Minus 330, 94% on the money line betting for the Vikings. 97% of the money going the Vikings' way on the money line. Now just keep that in mind. Chicago has the numbers in their favor for this game. 22% Chicago Bears, 78% Minnesota Vikings on the spread. 7-point favorites are the Vikings. 25% of the money going with Chicago on the spread. 75% of the money on the spread going the Vikings' way. Total percentage of bets over under. 83% going over the 44.5. Under is getting 17%. Now this is rare because the money is getting 57% over, 43% under. This is rare when you get this type of discrepancy on the total. This is very rare when you get this type of discrepancy on the total. And as you can see, the cost has a very unique discrepancy as well at minus 104, minus 118. So just keep that in mind. Watch how these odds adjust. If this under continues at this minus 118, getting 43% of the money, that's going to be difficult for Vegas to go against at that minus 118 mark, under 43%. That's very difficult. 43% of the money, that is, even though they're only getting 17% of the betting. So people betting heavily on the under in this one. If this cost stays the same or remains above this mark, minus 120, minus 122, something like that, look out for the under in this one. Look out for the under in this one. The over is getting minus 104. Look out for that minus 105. The minus 105 hits more so than not. And the Chicago spread, another thing they have in their favor is this cost. Minus 120, which hits quite often. But yeah, let's go to the next game. Picks will be on the Patreon. I may include some props in this game as well. Hopefully I will have enough time to do that today. Atlanta versus Las Vegas. Atlanta opening money line minus 170. Las Vegas opening money line plus 145. 170. 1 plus 70 equals 71. 17 plus 0 equals 17. 1 plus 7 plus 0 equals 8. Las Vegas opening money line plus 145. 1 plus 45 equals 46. 14 plus 5 equals 19. And 1 plus 4 plus 5 equals 10. Atlanta current money line minus 250. Las Vegas current money line plus 205. That is the current situation here. And it is very different from what it was a few days ago. And I'm going to show you that. I'll show you that right now. I will show you that right now. All right. This is what it was on Thursday, the odds. This is what I do behind the scenes. I analyze the odds day by day by day and how they adjust based on the splits, based on where the money is going. It's called the splits. Minus 198. And it was, by the way, it was based off the same percentages you see below, which we will go over in a moment. The only difference is that you see this 89% going Atlanta's way. It was 96% on Thursday. These were the odds from last Thursday. Now they're at minus 250. They're over 200, well over 200, minus 250. They were at minus 198 last Thursday when they were getting 96% at minus 198. Atlanta currently is at 96%. Well, they were at 96%. Currently, they're at 89% at minus 250. So just keep that in mind. When you're now the percentage of betting is the same at 90%. for Atlanta, 90% of the betting, 10% for Las Vegas. So just keep that in mind how those adjusted. Very, very, very key when it comes to getting a pick here. Atlanta increased in odds for Vegas for a reason. Spread looks like this. 5.5-point favorites are the Falcons at minus 112 cost, which hits slightly more than minus 108, but not always. Not as different as minus 115, minus 105, so just keep that in mind. Opening odds are the same, 1 point difference at minus 120 cost. Atlanta favored. 5.5-point underdogs at minus 108 for the Raiders. Over under. 44.5 at minus 110 cost. 44.5 at minus 110 cost for the under as well. Percentage, expected value. Percentage to win. Based off this minus 250. 69% for the Falcons, 31% for the Raiders, which gives them a negative $5.45 expected value. Once again, the Raiders are over that $5 mark, but do not focus too much on that in this game because the way these odds change for Atlanta is very significant. Now, need I mention in the previous game, the odds are still the same from Thursday. Exactly the same, plus 265, minus 330. These change significantly. Minus 250 to plus 205. So just keep that in mind. But once again, look out for the Raiders. They are above that expected value. The Raiders are above that minus negative $5.45 expected value. But that gives the Falcons a negative $3.40 expected value based off this minus 250 at 69% chance to win. Scroll down here, and they are getting 89% and 90% of the betting, 89% of the money. Picks will be on the Patreon. I may include some props as well, so look out for that. I don't think there's any NBA today, so I'll definitely have a little more time to do that as well. 90% of the betting on the money line going with Atlanta, 10% going with the Raiders, 89% of the money going with Atlanta, 11% going with the Raiders on the money line. Spread percentage of bets based off this 5.5-point favorite Atlanta Falcons at minus 112 cost. 5.5-point underdogs are the Raiders at minus 108 cost. 91% of the betting going on the spread going with Atlanta. 9% going with the Raiders. 74% going with Atlanta on the money. 26% going with the Raiders. All right, total percentage of bets. Over, under. Over is getting 11% of the bets. Under is getting 89%. Percentage of the money. Over is getting 22%. Under is getting 78%. And let's see. As long as Atlanta continues to jump here, you're safe. You're safe here. Now the question is on the spread and the total. Total's even at minus 110. Obviously, those are always the most difficult to pick because, it's nothing to go off with the cost because they're even. But you always have these splits. Under is dominating once again in this game. 78% of the money, 89% of the betting. People expecting low-scoring games tonight. This minus 112 cost at minus 108. Minus 112 hits more than minus 108. But the question is not even the cost here, is where this 5.5, whether this 5.5 turns into 6 or 6.5. Then that's where it gets tricky. If you see Atlanta go up to a 6-point favorite or a 6.5-point favorite, that gives them a touchdown advantage over the other team. They could win this game by a touchdown. They are getting 74% of the money. 91% of the betting on the spread. This is based off the spread. 74% and 91%. So keep that in mind. Atlanta looks like it definitely has the numbers in their favor, but watch how these odds adjust. And also look out for the Raiders on this expected value at minus $5.45. Both dogs today have the advantage on the expected value. But Atlanta increased so much right here. And the Raiders went from 4% to 11% of the money here. And they went up significantly from 166 to plus 205. Which doesn't help Vegas at all. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take care. Pray every day. I've been Scott. Join the Patreon. See you in the next video.